Ocean Wu. We're going to be doing a quick little Tekken 7 discussion, kind of, I guess, the landscape, uh, getting into the game, because I know we got a ton of new players showing up, a lot of guys coming from the 2D world, and figured I'd bring on my buddy iSiege, Josh McWhorter, who also works for Final Round and TFC, the event that I got the chance to be a TO for this year, and probably going to try to help out at Fall Classic as well. So, all right, let's get to it. So, Josh, as we were talking a little bit before we went live, how do you feel about the new players coming in from Street Fighter? And well, not just Street Fighter, like all of the other like 2D games, like just guys and girls that weren't Tekken players originally, but when the game came out, they kind of jumped on it.
And I'm really excited because it's it's a big opportunity. This is it's been a long time since there's been this level of excitement, across these many different types of folks for Tekken, and anytime there's an opportunity to get more, more new faces is awesome, and especially when there's more money getting involved. Numbers is power, they're power. So if we have more people, we get more money. That's just how it is. It becomes more marketable. It's more attractive. But ultimately, it's awesome to have other people to share this game with, this hobby with us. I know it gets lost a lot of times. We get caught up trying to, get in the rat race of competing, and it'll be fun. We're gonna have the 2D players are gonna have an opportunity to learn. There's some of us who play 2D and 3D where this is nothing new to us. For some people who forever now have avoided venturing into 3D, now they're jumping in, and this is probably the best Tekken to do it. To be honest, it's got the lowest barrier of entry that I can tell for quite a while. I'm enjoying it. I'm glad to finally have it on console. I don't know about it. I mean, it seems like everyone else is enjoying it too. Like the biggest complaint is, oh my god, my ranked battles. Oh my god, my online play. I don't have friends to play this game with offline with. Sounds like a personal problem, but that's on you to build the scene with. So, build the scene.
Yeah, I mean, so far from what I've been reading through social media is just a lot of people have hopped on the input lag bandwagon, and like, I mean, to me, especially after playing at, we played on the dev kits and the demo builds and everything, and that was awful. Like that was input lag. That was like 20 frames of lag. Can't move. Nothing works. Like that was bad. Like coming from that and playing the console, that's just completely different. Like that's a complete change from what we've had to deal with. Over the past like almost 2.5 years.
Oh, definitely. There was it felt like you were playing in quicksand sometimes. It's night and day the way the game feels. It definitely feels like a more complete game. Final round, folks were saying that it felt like characters moved differently than before. Some people were saying that some characters felt stiffer, some felt smoother than before. It was the game feels great. I'm sidestepping with Gigas. I mean, not a lot because he's big, but that's pretty awesome that I can still sidestep some. That's There are people that say they prefer Tag 2, and you know what? There's always going to be people that prefer the older game, and that's how it is. That's fine. They're more than welcome to enjoy that. They might have some memories built into it that make it extra special to them, and all more power to them. But this is a great game. I'm really enjoying it. I think a lot of people need to give it an opportunity. It's going to be interesting seeing what they get patch out and what they take care of. these Kuma Infinites and some of the Eliza shenanigans, I'm sure they'll deal with accordingly. Everyone's talking about ban, ban, ban. Uh, I mean, we shouldn't have any tournaments that are worth a damn going on, within the first 90 days of the game's release. So, now that, the way I'm kind of looking at it, to be honest, any event for the next 90 days, those results are suspect. The game just came,
Right.
and that's not to question the integrity of the event or or the game itself, but 90 days, everyone just got the game. It's just, it is what it is. So the game came out June 2nd.
Yep. Well, like May
Yeah, I
28th for
guess
some people,
people
yourself included.
people getting those early releases. So yeah, we'll say May
Taking
28th. We'll
pre-orders
say May
from kids
28th
and
or
stuff.
early 2017, right?
Right.
So we got early 2017, May 28th, and that's so we got June, July, August, which I don't want to say that because then it sounds like I'm propping up TFC as like the first real Tekken event, and that's not fair. That's not right because we've also had these Wizard
Yeah.
World events, so the core competitive players have gotten plenty of opportunities to play it. There are some that are now going to get the opportunity to play, but players having access to the game regularly and having access to training mode in order to lab up and figure stuff out, that's a big difference. Big difference in the quality of play. And we weren't doing too bad before. Hey, that man Joey Fury
Right.
doing great things, and now he's got the game.
Yeah.
Now Joey has the game, so we'll see. It's also we'll see what happens, but play the game. Play the
Uh,
game.
Speaking of playing the game, the what kind of things do people who are new to the game need to kind of look at? Because, like I said a little earlier, I was going through some of the streams with, a lot of the more popular players that came from the Street Fighter realm, and just coming from being a Tekken player, I felt they were giving out kind of misinformation, but it was good information for fighting games in general, but just not for Tekken specifically. Like, what do you feel should be focusing on coming into the game?
You and I talked about this a little bit and how we weren't too sure about some of the advice that was being given to some of the new people by, especially some of those with a Street Fighter or 2D background. But at the same time, like in particular, we were talking about Justin Wong. He did win a final round, in DR. So man, I guess people should approach the game the way they feel is best, but if they're having issues, maybe approach it a little differently. I've always told people to get 10 core moves, learn a couple, learn any combos or follow-ups or you might have off them, and then learn your punishers. Then go from there. Just start, building your move list. Figure your move list out. Figure out how to use it. Then start getting your combos down once you've got a good idea of your basic move list. Because what good are your combos going to do if you can't land the launcher? Like, okay, cool, you've got this great combo off a hop kick. You can't land hop kick because you don't have any good lows. So I don't have to respect the hop kick. I just have to wait for the hop. I could all I have to do is respect the hop kick. I don't have to respect lows, and I'll get the punish on the hop kick. And in this game, because the life bars are smaller and there's only one, so punishment significant again. So, and depending on the hop kick, that can be minus 12, minus 13. So, definitely get some core moves, get your punishment down, get a movement. If a lot of people say movement when they get distracted and they think, oh, movement, that means I got to learn movement techniques. It's not that you have to learn movement techniques. You have to learn the concept of movement and what it's used for, invading whiffs and creating space. There are certain situations in this game where you just have to hold a 50-50, and it's not a fun time. No one likes being in a 50-50. Uh, I don't like being in 50-50s. John, do you like being in 50-50s?
Of course not. Like, it makes you feel trapped. Like, it's like, when is it my turn to play?
Exactly.
You
You
know.
know, so and there are some characters that excel in 50-50s or create 50-50s. Josie and Gigas, for example, create 50-50s in a way. Maybe not Josie so much, but definitely Gigas. Um, so how do you avoid those 50-50s? Don't be in them. Movement. Don't allow yourself to be in that situation where they can pressure you and put you in those situations. Um, so that's the big part about movement because a lot of people don't understand creating dominant angles of attack and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, definitely your move list, movement and move list, understanding your basics. And I guess what the biggest thing probably be understand how to lose, learn how to lose. That's probably the biggest one that I can tell people is learn how to lose. Because if you're just losing and you're not understanding how or why you lost, then that's a wasted opportunity for growth.
Right. Now, when you say movement, most people, as soon as they hear the word movement, it's like, oh, well, I need to learn how to Korean backdash, and you know, that's like the first thing they go to when it comes to movement. So, my thing when you look at movement, you have to learn not just backdashing, but you also have to learn when to sidewalk, when to dash, when to crouch, when not to crouch. Because, like I told in Li Joe's stream when I was in there yesterday, I was like, Street Fighter kind of teaches you to crouch block and look for the overhead. In Tekken, it's like the exact opposite. You almost never want to duck because if you duck, you're going to get launched or you're going to get hit with a heavy mid and you're probably going to die. So, like, the thing you want to do is look for the heavy low. 9 times out of 10, you can take these little pitter pat lows and like still get away unscathed, and then either back away or just block them.
Definitely. The lows that do lead to something significant are usually seeable, or at the very least, rather punishable. So there's always that. And at the same time, sometimes you can't just let those lows stack up. Depending on the lows, that could hurt. I mean, there's a big difference between taking a Josie crouch dash 3 and a Josie down 4. One hurts a lot more than the other, and one can lead to a lot more damage. I would, you know, Bacon's Extra, and I were just screwing around in trainer mode and messed around and did an 85 damage Josie wall break combo. I guess balcony break would be the balcony break combo off of a counter hit crouch dash 3. So that's just not something you should take by any means. But at the same time, it's all risk reward. I really like the way the risk reward's been balanced out. Back to Josie down 4, that low's only -10. That's wild. That's absolutely insane. It's a -10 low. It's +1 on hit. It's 15 frames. It's only 8 damage though. So, I mean,
Right.
Okay, if you die to nothing but down 4, that's on you. Um, but I definitely think the importance of understanding how to open somebody up, and I think a common problem that a lot of players have is that they will out theory themselves. You'll see they won't do things like, oh, that move's punishable. Does your opponent know that, or do you know that? Um, does your opponent know the matchup? Learn how to deal with that. Tekken is very much a game where you play the player. Knowing the character allows you to understand their tool set, what they have to do. But then, from then on, you're playing the player for the most part.
That's actually something that I've told people for years. Um, like some of my friends would be in tournament and they'd have to play against like a character they're not terribly familiar with, but it's like just play your game because you're playing the person. You're not really playing the character. You have a pretty good idea of what the character is capable of, but you know, everybody, most of the the time they tell you pick out like 10 moves and just utilize those moves. But the thing of it is that the characters have so many moves that somebody could pick out 10 moves. Like one person could pick out 10 moves, and then this other person could pick out 10 completely different moves, and then you have what you would imagine you'd have to look for one person be completely different for somebody else. Like say like JDCR and Anakin playing Dragunov. Now, of course, While Running 2 is going to be a staple for both guys, but they're going to use different moves in different situations. Like you're not going to see them use the exact same playstyle, which is different from most 2D games, where most of those characters are going to play almost exactly the same. You watch Smug and PR Balrog play Balrog. That Balrog is going to play. I'm not going to say they're going to X copy each other and play like completely identical, but most of the given situations, you're going to see them both react almost in the exact same way. Whereas opposed in Tekken, people can play the same characters, even like mirror matches. That's what makes mirror matches in Tekken to me more scary, because like you're anticipating them playing all the mind games and everything that you're so used to using against you, and then they don't even do them, so you're like you get mixed up yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you commonly hear about how differently some people play certain characters. I mean, and you hear that too with Street Fighter, but I think it's a lot more apparent in Tekken, to be honest. In Tekken, there's a big difference between, say, Sodam's Ling. Well, actually, Sodam's Ling and Princess Ling's are pretty similar, but I mean, they're still different. There's definitely a difference between Tanukana's Ling and Princess Ling's Ling. They have completely different Xiaoyus. Yeah. Huge difference between, Cody's Devil Jin and Nee's Devil Jin. I'm not talking about in terms of like, oh, this one's got, such a better skill set. I'm talking about, they're just different play styles.
Right.
So it's
yeah,
it's
like, that's one of the things. Yeah, that's like one of the things I used to tell some of my friends, like when they'd be playing against somebody they've like never played before. I'm like, just play your game. It was like 9 times out of 10 they aren't going to know what your tendencies are, so it's just do the stuff that normally works when you play other people. If they block it, there's a good chance that the new person that you're playing against isn't going to block it because they have no idea. Like if they do, then use something else. But I mean, for the most part, for all intents and purposes, they're not going to know your playstyle.
Yeah,
and
I think it's something that like Bacon's Extra and we usually talk about is that it's really easy when you play against people on a regular basis. They get to know you the matchup, and you're not allowed to do certain things or play a certain way or like play within your comfort zone. Like it's almost like you've always got your counter matchup available. But when you go to tournaments, that's not always the case. You're not going to play someone who knows that matchup, who knows how you play. They don't have you broken down like that. So you have to be willing to do stuff. I think, and I think that brings me to kind of what I was something I've been trying to put into words. I haven't found a really good way to do so, and that's, it's funny. Back in the day, I used to call them forum cookie cutter characters, and these were people that I found super easy to beat because they always talked about, playing frame perfect, never doing anything punishable, never taking risks, and I'm like, okay, you're super easy to beat because I know you talk about you never do this, you never deal with it, so I know you can't. That when you get hit with it, you don't know what to do. So I'm going to hit you with the big low. I'm going to hit you with Snake Edge because I know you can't block it. I know you can talk about blocking it, but you're not going to block it. I'm going to challenge it. I'm going to test that defense. And if that defense is suspect, then I'm going to make you super mad because I'm not going to play the way you think is good. I'm going to play you what you think is super scrubby, but in actuality is you're super scrubby, and I have to play super scrubby to beat you to move on. I mean, people don't like acknowledging that. They don't like having to acknowledge, oh, I got to learn how to break throws, which in this game is super easy. I mean, it ain't even a thing. Like, you can still practice, like, as long as when you practice breaking throws, you practice doing them the right way, you still try and practice based off the hand, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. because then when you can come with command throws, you have a much higher chance of breaking them. And then on top of that, even if they don't, if it's a generic throw, you're going to hit a button, so you're good. Whatever. Um, if you can definitely work on defense movement, I don't know, man. Like, I'm excited to see how these guys also approach it because online is going to be big. There are people chasing the rank mode. There are people who are all about their ranked. And that's going to be interesting seeing how that rush is going to go, especially after the patch. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm hoping that this translates to offline play, especially use of the online tournament mode. I hope we use it for powers of good, because I think it's kind of interesting that we have an opportunity. And Cody posted something earlier today on Facebook. I can't remember what it was, some type of rule or observation about an industry. 20%, only 20% of the employees or everyone involved with something are responsible for like delivered content or whatever. So so few people are responsible for delivering content in the FGC, even more so for Tekken because it's always been traditionally a smaller community. We just need to start putting stuff out, even if nobody watches. I've never really done much. So I'm like, why is anyone going to watch what I do? I'm just an old, above average tournament player turned TO. But maybe I can help somebody learn something. Maybe or just help promote the game. I think more people should
Right.
do that.
Yeah.
But it'll be tough too,
Yeah.
getting caught up in the mix with everyone else. Like, oh, look at me in rank mode. But that's also good because that means people are playing the game. So I guess I can't be an old man about it. But I think we should be, I think we should. That's something that we should definitely be looking into. Um, especially because if we don't promote our own storylines, you might have storylines such as a player being salty because they set the display settings to what they should have properly been at. I don't know what I'm talking about here.
I don't know who that could have been or
Man,
what could
could
have
that
possibly, been printed on the
could that have
internet.
been a retracted statement that I saw?
I mean, it's quite possible, something that,
Your
got
JOB.
edited slightly after it was posted, with that sensationalized fake news.
It's
But,
we're gonna have all these FGs, these little wannabe FGs, like event hubs. I want to call it event. I want to call it event scrubs, and I'm gonna call it that anyways. But I'm gonna call it event hubs still. Um, you know, they're gonna suddenly want to cover Tekken. They're gonna suddenly be like, oh, these players are gonna be here. I kid you not. If it was a final round, it was a big tournament not too long ago. But they said like relatively unknown Street Fighter player Saint or something like that, and it's just like, yo, it's one of the best Tekken players in the world, and he's not playing Street Fighter, he's playing Tekken. Like they're suddenly going to be putting Tekken stuff up there, where these folks, straight up admitted on I can't remember if it was I think it was on Twitter a while back. I got into it with one of the dudes. I think it was the one who's based out of North Carolina, and they more or less said, yeah, no, I don't put anything. We don't put anything up for Tekken because it doesn't get us clicks. That's why we put all Street Fighter and Smash stuff up there. Well, guess what? They're going to come a knocking. They're going to come a looking. And Kotaku's going to come looking for something to promote. They're going to come talk to people like, Lolita Bot, who are going to pretend to be part of the community that aren't. And get the wrong impression of the community and the wrong side of things. Or they're going to say that players like Cody, because they're setting the display to what it was supposed to be at, that they're being salty, And then, what are they going to do next? Like, oh, this event didn't have the right setting, so it created this big blow up. Now you're really gonna blow up the person that ran the event. The guy that ran that event is probably one of the nicest, best people that I know in the community. Like, amazing human being. And hard working, has done a lot for the community. So, are we going to really leave it up to those guys to decide what the community should think about, the people that have taken care of us for all this while? I don't think so, man. Like, we need to get ahead of that. We need to hold ourselves a little to a higher standard, of course, but don't give clicks to these sites that are trying to get controversy and all the clickbait. Make them cover us right. Make them cover us in a way that gives us opportunities for sponsorship, that gets us money. Yeah. We got a lot of catching up to do in comparison to some of the other communities, which is a shame because Tekken used to be like the number 2 game in America behind Street Fighter, and now, you know, there are a lot of
Yeah.
other games that pull ahead. So,
I kind of feel like we're kind of. I mean, my favorite heyday, because I came into the Tekken side of the FGC like well after Tag and Tekken 4 and everything. My heyday was Tekken 5, and Tekken 5 to me was probably one of the best eras for the more modernized Tekken,
definitely.
because I mean there were so many people playing at that time. Like I was working and managing an arcade, and I mean almost any given weekend we could get like almost 40 people playing at the arcade. Like we would have monthlies with people coming down from like Baltimore, and like people came down from New York. I mean, we would have like almost 100 people for a monthly tournament on one arcade cabinet. And then like when DR came out, I mean that was a wrap, dude. I mean like there was just so there. I mean the scene was just so huge, and then once 6 came out, and the huge gap between DR, well, the huge gap between DR coming from arcade to console, which was like almost 2.5 years, and then the gap from DR on console to Tekken 6 to Bloodline Rebellion to finally having Tekken 6 on console, just killed a lot of the hype, in my opinion.
I agree, man. That was a big blow. It's a really big blow to Tekken, especially when other games were taken off the way they were. Um, I think it's important that we take this as an opportunity to cultivate the new talent, though. To really hold on to them, because you're gonna have a lot of people who are looking at this game in terms of popularity. I see we've got some of the chat mentioning about. They had a friend asking about what's the general perception of Tekken games. In America, they might not look at Tekken as a big time game when it's like the highest, what is it, like the most selling franchise in the world or something like that. I know it's definitely one of, if not the most popular in Asia. So in America it might be a little different. It's Street Fighter country here for sure, but
Yeah.
um, it's definitely well worth watching. There's a lot of people playing. There's great people playing. You know, people want to know, well, who are the gods. It's kind of crazy. A lot of those cookie cutter forum folks who never really ended up being good at the game, who usually flaked out. You're seeing a lot of that now in terms of the casual player, where um, they almost need this structure that isn't there in Tekken. Because like I have this mid, and because this is mid, this should always hit you because you're doing a high crush, not a mid crush. Well, if you look at the animation, the character gets lower than your knees, so that mid starts at your waist. It's not starting at your shins. Doesn't matter to me. They don't. That doesn't make sense to them. But then when they do hear that, even if it does make sense, they're like, "This is stupid. I don't. I
Right.
don't like that. I don't agree with that." So it does. That's that's something that we're gonna have to deal with. And I think another thing is, uh, we don't want because we have these Street Fighter players playing. Let's not sit there and be like, yeah, go back to Street Fighter or any of that garbage. That's so stupid. It's so pointless. You know, unless you got like unless there's a Street Fighter player that has been talking hellacious amounts of shit to you, talking about, man, I don't even play Tekken. I don't even play Tekken. I don't even play Tekken. Don't be popping off like that. Now if you got someone who's been like that for a while, then yes, see them in Tekken. Say, what's good? I hear you playing this game. Go back to Street Fighter. Like, well, we want to keep we need this money. We need this money. We need these numbers. Let's keep
Yeah.
this going.
Yeah.
Like it's you know I'm getting a production over here is handing me a note saying Tekken 3 sold over 9 million copies. Was one of the best-selling games of all times. That's
Yeah.
bam. We get facts
They
on
they just
stream.
hit.
We get facts on stream, John.
Yo,
I got internships.
they just sold they got #1 in the UK. It was the best selling fighting game, #1 in the UK.
Yeah, number one selling game in the UK. Like it speaks for itself. The game's popular, so we don't need to have this. What would you say? It's I want this complex maybe that almost like a little brother complex. We don't need that. We don't need that. We got the numbers. We got the sales. We don't need that. Bring these folks into the fold. Let's keep them in there, and let's keep going. Because ultimately, people forget that this is supposed to be something fun. This was ultimately a game that I super enjoyed. That whenever I go to an arcade, I play this game, and my parents were split when I was younger, and I had to live in the Northeast, and my dad lives in the Southeast, where I was originally from. So I game once a month, drove up and down I-95 and stopped south of the border, and I'd play there. That was a big part of me growing up, and playing with my brothers, and then after when I moved back down to Charleston, started getting competitive, meeting all the people that I have. I've got one of my best friends that I met through the game is now working with me. Bacon's Extra is actually who was handing me the notes over there. There's if you approach this like, oh, this is just a game, I don't give a damn about it. Like, yeah, that's about as much as you want to get out of it. But if you come at it with the right attitude, I mean, you can get so much more from it. I'm not saying that like, oh, this game is life, but I mean, make it worth your while. Don't waste your time.
All right. Yeah, I mean, like you said, like earlier when you got the guys like, oh, I don't even play Tekken, but I'll come in and just smash you. Like, I mean, there's plenty of guys that are like that, and it's like those are the ones that I mean, we really, in my opinion, if you can possibly convert them by laying hands on them, that's cool. But if you hand them an L and they decide, well, I suck, maybe I shouldn't play this game. I mean, sorry, I mean, it is what it is. Like, don't talk trash and then not be like, well, hey, can you teach me how to play, or can I try to learn some stuff from you instead of being the salty bitch and then walking off and taking your ball and going home. Then I mean, we don't need that in the community, and I mean that's just the way it is. But I mean that's how I feel about it personally. I'm all for bringing more people in and trying to teach them as best I can, as opposed to just beating them down and then like not even telling them why they lost. Like that's one of my biggest concerns is just you got a lot of guys who aren't necessarily really good at the game but are better than brand new players, and then they'll be like, well, you suck, why you even bother in playing, you shouldn't even play. And then those are the ones that the newcomers see that and they're like, oh well, the Tekken community's trash, like they're toxic, like all they do is just talk down to everybody and like don't even help people try to play the game.
Yeah, we don't want that problem. I think it's also important, that we also drive out the undesirables by laying hands on them. We got people. If low tier, if I don't even want to say his full name, I don't even want to give him that marketing. But if an you know if Viscant's bitch, as I'll refer to him as, if Viscant's bitch decides to get in on this and start trying to use Tekken to promote themselves, blow their backs out. Just no mercy. And I don't mean talk. I don't mean like talk hateful, but I mean make quick work of them. don't even give them the opportunity to be on there showing their ass. The worst thing you could do to these people is end any time that they end any exposure that they can have. Like, oh, I gotta play you on stream, pop, 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 and you leave.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
they ain't gonna know. That's the worst thing you could do to them. Not only did I just body you, I did it in record time, so it's super fast. And now the only reason that this is going to be playing is there's going to be any playtime on this is people are going to be playing it more often. They're going to be playing all. This is going to be an animated GIF. You're going to be an animated GIF. So make sure we definitely take care of them. That kind of goes with the whole policing ourselves. Making sure we don't allow other folks to create that narrative. It's going to be interesting. We got a pretty wild tournament season coming up. Second World Tour is looking dope. I mean, we got stuff going on in Europe and Asia Pacific, and America's like, it's so gross. Like, I see that there's still the finals to be determined. Like, so hold on, let's see here. Yeah, the very first one kicks off at SoCal Regionals has one. There's going to be a Korean tournament. I guess SoCal Regionals will be like, the final, the Tekken World Tour Global Finals. Ooh, if that was that final round. Oh my God. Oh
Man.
Let me dream. Please let me dream. We got CEO first big one. That's coming up in 10 days. 16th through the 18th. I know someone. There was another user asked if we were going to go.
Me personally, no, because I don't have the time off of work. I did go last year, just because I happened to be in Orlando with family. And I mean, it's a well put together event. I mean, I won't knock them from a production standpoint. I have my reservations about the organizer. Just given what happened, 2 years ago. But I won't really get into that.
I'm not going fuck Bailey for what he did at Final. It's a shame too, man. I really want to go to a CEO, but as long as Bailey's involved with that, man, like I can't support Twitter fingers. I can't.
Right.
I can't go to the Donald Trump of the FGC and give him any money. Yeah, I can't deal with that. No, this is just real talk, and it's a shame too because I would really love to go and support Tekken, and I think everyone. I don't think because of my view of Jabali, people shouldn't go. Let me put that out there now.
Right.
Fuck him though. I hope he gets hit by a bus, and I hope it's on film, and I want it to be on like grainy CCTV so that it's funny, and I can just see it played over and over at like minimum like storage usage, so I can always have it like on my phone, like. Bam,
wow.
Bam, jabust. But if you're in the area and you're able to go, definitely go. Not to give that fuckboy any money, but to support Tekken. And I think also in June they're showing in Qatar GCC major, so international folks, shout outs. And there's Tiger Uppercut in Thailand. It's so dope. Like there's Tiger Uppercut. I didn't even know there was an event. This is so awesome.
Yeah, I had no idea.
When they spelled Tiger like THAI like Thailand, yo,
that's dope.
I'm so hyped for that, and I'm not even a part of that. We've got a North America East event July 3rd through 4th, which has been. Oh, that's going to be. Oh, I see. These are the online. They have online events and offline. Oh.
Yeah. You don't have online.
I admittedly didn't watch the trailer for it. I don't remember what was going on. And something was going on. I was like, I don't have time for this. Russia's going to have it on the 8th. Hope that doesn't get hacked. The Philippines also in August. Philippines is going to be dope. There's a lot. I think is Incock still in the Philippines?
I think so, but he's kind of like on semi-retirement right
Oh, that's
now
right. He got a little more.
because he had a kid, so
Yeah, JR, shout outs. Love you.
he's in dad Nito
Dad
now.
Nito. Well, Jr. Go son the young kid out there. Was it JK, RK, KO,
AK.
AK? Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey,
One of those combinations of consonants and
can't wait till
vowels.
that kid's 47. That'll be amazing. Everyone's gonna have so much fun with his name. Some event in Holland, there's so many dope international events. I'm super excited to see all these international players. Like
Right.
our European crew that we never get to really see as often as we should, man. I'm stoked. You know,
Yeah, I actually watched the European Tekken tournament, like the finals and whatnot, as they were going, and I mean, I'm not gonna down EU because they do have good players. I mean, the quality of the players probably isn't quite as high as what you would see in our tournaments or in Japanese tournaments, but I mean they still have a good number of very good players that I would love to see come across the pond and play here.
that'd be awesome, man. I've been wanting to get EU players here to the final round for a long while. But at the same time, it's kind of hard to get them to come to final round. Like they can only come overseas for one event. Like a lot of them do choose Evo, and understandably so.
Yeah,
And speaking of Evo, I think that's the next line of the tournaments, aka the anti Bronson tournament.
yeah.
Bronson, I hope you win the Evo one year, buddy. I know that's been the one you really want. I mean, didn't Rip win one year? Yeah, so Rip's better than Bronson, right? Isn't that how it works? No, Rip didn't win.
But didn't Yeah, I was gonna say Rip never won at Evo.
He definitely got top.
I
He got
think
top
people
three.
might quit if that hit.
I think Rip got top three.
He might
There was
have.
one. There was one Evo though where Rip was blowing people up. I remember that much. Like he was doing people. Um, I really do hope Bronson. I would love to see Bronson win this Evo. Like I would love. You know what I would love
Yeah.
to see? I would love to
Always,
see
always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Bronson versus Jimmy, and I would love to see Bronson take it. That would be so epic. Like that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
And then the next, it's funny because Anakin Speed Kicks, they're getting all this Tekken World Tour time because the very next week after Evo is DreamHack Atlanta. So
Oh yeah. Oh
ATL is
wow.
going to get an
Yeah.
opportunity to double stack. That's awesome. See, Indonesia, a budget cup. Never heard of that. That sounds dope. Hey, Summer Jam, aka we're sorry we screwed you guys last year.
Yeah, I kind of feel like that one might have some low numbers just on principle of what
You
happened.
know what? I think
Like I hate to
I'm gonna
say,
make it a
but
point to try and go to Summer Jam.
mm,
I think I'm gonna try and make that an honest. I'm gonna give that an honest college try. Because I know what it's after what having the final round, I got to kind of pay it forward. I know what it's like to have things
yeah, yeah.
not go well, and people kind of blast you for it. Especially when it's not your fault. That's the worst part when it's not your fault.
Right,
So
yeah.
versus fighting in the UK. That'll be interesting. Absolute battle in Dallas, Texas. That's all in August. We got September, Germany, Dreamolition Derby, Celtic Throwdown Ireland. That's all Fergus. Fergus, you better win Celtic Throwdown, bro. East Coast Throwdown's part of the World Tour. Oh my, good for them.
Oh
That's
really?
that's going to be the
ECT is?
only event New York travels to. Everybody else got the game at
I
the
know,
same
right?
time as y'all. I know how New York is. I'm calling all y'all out. I love New York. I love New York, but y'all's biggest talkers don't do any showing when it gets good. When everyone has the game at the same time, New York is a ghost. When New York has the game for months before everyone else, New York is all kinds of yep, 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 yep. I hope me talking shit gets y'all back into this. Come on now. Don't let me talk shit and get away with it. Come to final round and win final round. Don't send Justin Wong to do
Right.
what you can never do. I'm just saying. Unless did GM win final round one year? I can't remember.
I'm pretty sure he
That's the
did.
tainted final round. We
Uh,
won't, we won't acknowledge that final round. Um, Yeah, so what else we got? But I think East Coast Throwdown will be definitely a big one. There's a lot of online events. That's awesome. An Australian one, dope. Second
Well,
Grand.
Australia actually just had they just had a tournament like a
Oh,
couple
that's
weeks
right,
ago.
they did. Was it Shadowloo
hmm
Showdown?
It was like BAM, I think, like
Uh,
BAM 9,
yeah, you're
because
right. You're right.
JCR and Saint went to it, or at least I think Saint went to it, but he got like busted up,
Oh, you got
which was kind
bodied?
of surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got one in France, one in Italy. Yo, Europe. Tech Namco has heard your cries. They have heard you. They have seen the light. They understand you are the largest marketplace in the world. What have we been doing? We understand. They have all these European events. I'm so excited for them. I am so excited for Europe.
Now, speaking of events, when does TFC
It's
fall?
funny you should ask
Does
that
it
right
fall
after. So
within?
this France and Italian event that I was just looking at, that got me hyped for Europe. TFC comes after
Mm.
those. In fact, that's the same weekend as the 29th through the 1st. Oh, just getting notes here again. Shout out to Bacon's Extra with the trivia here on the background. We need to get this man on the soundboard or something. We need to get like how Howard Stern gig going or something. But Rip got second at Evo in 2010 in Tekken 6. So
Oh, okay.
good shit, Rip. Way to
Well,
do
shout
it.
out to Rip.
That's 7 years ago. Tekken 6 was 7 years ago. Oh,
It's kind of scary when
oh
you
my
think about
chest. Ow.
it.
Oh my. Rip has been that well dressed for that long. Like, hasn't his Twitter profile since he's I've known him has been him looking suave as hell. Shit, I would hire Rip on the spot. Be like, damn, you're pretty as hell. My man is dressed to impress. But yeah, we got TFC the weekend of August 29th to the 1st, and bruh, I'm so excited. I hope we have the ITS Speed Kicks drama still going, because here's the goal. You're gonna hear it here first, folks.
Mm.
All five of you, which is probably two of those are us, so all three of you. Yo, Gamer
I
D-Rex,
know,
shout
right?
outs. Gamer D-Rex always at the Southern tournament, so shout outs. But if ITS and Speed Kicks is still going on at TFC, I want to set up like I want to have Speed Kicks build a stable. I don't know what we'll call them. We'll figure something out. The Prodigies or something like that. Real children of
Mm.
genius. um,
uh, Little Bill and Little Bill
Boys to
Kicks.
Men. Yeah.
Boys to Men.
Um, don't talk about my girlfriend.
I like that.
I'd have to be on that team.
But see, like, I don't know if he'll still be going because how bad he got blown
Oh,
up.
we'll
But
definitely
I
be
mean, I
going.
guess it depends
Yo,
on.
I believe in Speed Kicks. I believe in Speed Kicks. He's not going to take.
Well, no, I mean the drama. I don't know if the drama's still going to be
We'll see,
going.
man. Because so we got CEO coming up, and then after CEO's Evo.
Yeah.
So right now the drama, right now, Gamer X blew him up. Charlie shitted on him apparently, and I think did another ITS person beat him.
Was it P Link? I think P Link beat him.
Oh, Trey beat him too. Okay, so Princess Ling
Yeah.
Princess Ling and yeah, so he got put out by two ITS folks. So we need to update that tally at the end of the video.
Right.
So we got CEO coming up, and Speaking's going to be hungry. So we're going to have to see how that goes. And then if Speed Kicks blows them both up, like this, it's not going to be over until one of them gets blown up twice in a row.
Right.
And unfortunately for ITS, because there's so many of them, this is like pro wrestling. This is where you've got like the one person, and he's getting all the other people thrown at him, and he just can't help but succumb to the numbers game. Especially now
Right.
that
Like Speed
when
Kicks
they
is
signed Little
Speed
Mud,
Kicks
and that
is
was
Crow
like
Sting versus the NWO. he's Crow Sting versus the NWO right now.
When they signed Little
Or
Majin, that
maybe
was like
DDP versus the NWO.
that was like when they got like the fake Sting. I guess I don't know. Like I can't think of a good like They got like,
Oh
damn, did
wow.
y'all get the anti-speed kick? So but I'm so excited because like it gives them so much drive and it gives us something to talk about, you know. And after TFC, I see TXT is going to be the Tekken World Tour in Chile. Shout outs, Barcelona Games World Tour. Taiwan's got one, or I'm sorry, Taipei. Southeast Asian Major in Singapore. Good stuff. The Coliseum in Italy, DreamHack Denver, and that's it for the rest of the year. So they don't have anything scheduled for the finals. I'm wondering if that leaves KIT as a possible home for the finals. That'd be dope. I'd be all in on that. Look at
Yeah,
this, and you
I'd be
can.
down.
But if now SpeedKicks blows their back out at CEO and Evo, and like let's say like SpeedKicks wins Evo, it's a wrap. Then
Okay.
if SpeedKicks
Yeah.
wins CEO
Yeah. No,
or Evo, if he blows them up and
he
wins
will have
CEO, actually, if
ascended.
he blows them up and wins CEO, and then goes to Evo and then like doesn't make it out of pools, drama's still going. That's for sure. Um, Also, it was Kenji that beat him at Combo Breaker. Um, Trying to. I mean, I'm hoping though, if there's still drama going by TFC though, I want to have SpeedKicks build a stable, like try and maybe kind of coax him into like, hey, Steven, at Summer Jam, do it, call out ITS to a 3-on-3, and then have it end up being like you, Anakin, and like a random third to play against like the 3 ITS people and blow them up, and it's like, oh, you know the the stable. I don't know even know who could complete that. Like who would be hype enough to complete that?
Well, Jeremiah would probably
Yeah, I
get
think it
in
had to be
there
Jeremiah. So it would be
because
something like
that's
it would have to be something like start off with like, okay, it'd be Jeremiah and Speed Kicks because Jeremiah made that dope ass video. You got to get him in on that.
right.
And
Yeah,
Jeremiah's no
yeah.
slouch either. So then it's like, who's gonna be the mystery partner? Then Hua be the mystery partner. Yo, that'd be so hype. Anakin.
They'd be like the
Like
outsiders.
it comes down to like little Majin like cleans up Jeremiah and then like gets speed kicks and it's like who's gonna save them from little Majin and Anakin comes out. That'd be raw. Oh, that'd be so dope. Oh, that'd be so dope. I'd be so hyped. And then that would set up TFC because then we could have the 5v5. Like let's get all of ITS and who are gonna be the final two. And I don't even know who that
Right.
would be. Like Poke Chop and someone else. I don't even know. No, Poke Chop would have to be whatever. But I mean, like, like we got to take those elements. We got to take those elements because that's how you build that marketing, that hype, that story, and that's how you keep garbage. Like, is Tekken a safe place for women to play fighting games? You know, will men be salty
Then
and adjust the settings to the tournament standards they're supposed to be?
that new IGN
Yeah, I mean,
article that
like,
came out.
well, listen, we need to protect Tekken. Let's protect Tekken. We need to protect Tekken from these folks. All right, we got to get rid of these video game media writers that are too busy sniffing chairs after female players have sat in them. We need to get rid of those guys. Don't give
Because I
them the
mean, when you
story.
really think about it, if you look back at when Street Fighter came out, you never really saw stories like that about Street Fighter, or Mortal Kombat, or Injustice, or any of those other games. All of a sudden, like, no offense to Tanakana, she is a sweetheart. Like, I met her at final round this year, and she is an absolute sweetheart. But like, Kotaku dude saw her and was like, "Oh my gosh, this is the waifu. Must worship the pad that she plays on." And if anything happens with her, then we gotta post an article like right now. And like both of their articles were about Tanakana. There was like no other articles about anything in the tournament. And then on top of that, Yahoo Esports like hops on with an interview with her, like almost immediately after Combo Breaker, and I'm like, come on, guys, like for real, like this is not like that's really not the way the kind of publicity the game needs. I mean, granted, they always say there's no bad publicity, but still, like, nah, it
And I
just
mean, we get it. We get it. it's the
Yeah.
cutesy female player. Like, oh, the girl's playing and she's beating all the boys. I get it. I get the narrative, but it's there's so many, like, there are other girls that have been doing it already. Cuddlecore got top 8 at Combo Breaker. You wouldn't even know she was there though, because it's like Tanukana, and I get it. Tanukana's part of Echo Fox, and she's got the cute story like, oh, I left my boyfriend for Tekken. Like, that's great. And like you said, she is a sweetheart, absolute amazing young lady, awesome, 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 so nice, so nice, like incredible. And you know what? I'm happy for her. I'm happy for her because I'm happy to see someone doing well, especially with tech, and especially someone as nice as her. Um,
Right.
but I'm mad for the folks that haven't gotten their shine. Like, I'm mad for the folks that you know.
Like
Yeah,
Cuddlecore, like Kawaii
yeah, they've been doing this
Skies.
for a hot minute. I mean, like, and
Yeah.
Tanukana, she's the highest. She's the highest ranked. She was the highest ranked Ling in Japan, so that's definitely not something to roll your eyes at. You know,
Right.
but I took a round off her, and I shouldn't have taken any rounds off her. I'm just saying. I mean, I felt like I could have taken her anytime, but maybe that's just me being arrogant. Probably is. It probably isn't me being arrogant. Let's be real. But you know, I'm glad she's getting the marketing. I'm glad she's getting the publicity. But I wish there were other people that got it as well, because it doesn't feel genuine. It doesn't feel genuine. Like,
Right.
hey, look at Tanukana. She's beating all the boys. What about the other girls that were beating all the boys? Like,
Hmm.
okay, she's on Team Echo Fox. All right, I get it. I get it.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I get it, but I don't like it, and I'll be very vocal
Right.
about not liking it. Um, uh, is Tanukana's Echo Fox, right?
No,
Oh,
she's
she's
Cyclops.
Cyclops.
She's part of a
Cyclops.
yeah,
That's right. She was
Japanese
with.
team.
Okay, so I mean, she's sponsored.
She just hangs out with
She hangs
them
out. Oh, okay,
because
well, she hung out. Yeah, she hung out with him.
most of the foreign players kind of like flock
Yeah,
to each
when
other. So
international
it's
players
like
are out together, they usually kind of chill
yeah,
together. Um,
yeah.
but I, I'm a little irritated because I'm gonna go hardcore leftist liberal for a second. Um,
Oh gosh.
because if people want to talk about, we should treat everybody the same. We should treat everybody the same. That's kind of where I'm coming from on this one as well. We're playing off of the fact that this is very dude populated. A lot of dudes in this demographic. A lot of thirsty dudes. A lot of Asianophiles, whatever, however you call them. Weeaboos.
Weeaboos.
And there's a lot of Orientalism that still exists, unfortunately. If y'all don't know what Orientalism is, if you think that someone's Oriental, it's just pretty fucking ignorant. Educate yourself real quick on that. If you don't buy into the Oriental stereotype of everything being mystique and feminine. That's really what it is. It's Orientalism
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
a little bit of not misogyny, a little misandry, little misandry, if you will, little dudes are being evil type stuff. I'm just pointing it out. It's there. I mean, I'm not offended by it. If someone wants to be offended by it, they're more than welcome to. I don't like it being there, but let's
Yeah.
not bullshit a bullshitter. Don't. Here I am hoping that we can set up like a WWE type thing for Speed Kicks and ITS. Talking about don't create a narrative here. That's what I'm doing. Um, but I'm also doing it to try and hype the community. I don't know if that makes it any better. I don't
Right.
know if it's like stealing for your family type thing, but it helps me sleep at night.
Well,
So
I mean, in that particular instance, I feel like us trying to hype up the Speed Kicks narrative is more getting eyes on the game and the community, and not really putting a focus on, I guess, a particular demographic that I get because I mean that's what makes the articles so sensationalized is that oh it's a girl who's good at playing a fighting game, and Tekken's the like one of the hardest fighting games, and she's beaten everybody, but it's like there's other girls who do the exact same thing. So I feel like the speed kicks thing is more of it's like kind of creating another like Daigo versus Lupe. It's something that is like, hey, that's kind of interesting. I kind of want to, you know, I want to see what happens because it's like, yeah, like somebody just said in the chat, rivalries give us some of the best matches. It's like, I mean, it's just like it's TV, it's drama. You know, we look for that one draw, and whether it be, well, this guy's been winning for so long, and you just you want to watch to see if he could possibly lose. Like, I mean, like look at I can't really think of like JDCR for instance. Like people still watch Tekken tournaments even when JDCR is there. I mean, they swear up and down, oh well, JDCR is going to win. He's Korean. Koreans always win. Blah blah blah. And then when he gets put in losers bracket, they're like, oh shit. And then they end up staying for the rest of the stream because it's like, well, JDCR got put in losers. Like, what could possibly happen now? Like, look what happened with final round. Like, look how many people stuck around for the finals once Saint got put out of the tournament. It was like, oh shit! Like,
I was
it's
in
not
the
going to be
line at
Korean
concession
finals.
stand for most of. I think I was for most of that match, but then I got there for the end of the JDCR one. I was so sad I missed the Saint one.
Yeah, but like, I watched it and I was like, I'm just like Spiro beating him. Like, oh shit! Like, this was like totally unexpected. I mean, like, everybody was like super hyped, and it's like now we don't have a full international finals like we normally do in any other time Tekken's on there. So I feel like that draw, like that special attraction, is kind of what we need to really bring more eyes and more potential uh more potential sponsorships, more potential like money to our game that we've been lacking for so many years.
I think that we're in a great opportunity really to do something with this. I just hope that people don't get too selfish and don't forget that there are other people involved in all this. There are people that have worked real hard, man. Like, you and I, we worked, you and I, Ahmed, we worked real hard this year on final round. We still got TFC coming up to work hard on. I've got, Ian worked super hard on Combo Breaker. I'm hoping to go to KIT and help out with that, man. Like, we work hard, and then these people, folks that are traveling these events, they work hard. They go put in their time at their thankless jobs to make sure they have enough money to go to these events and support, the game that they enjoy. So let's remember that and be a little grateful for the opportunities we get when we do succeed. Let's remember that. It's a little bit that remember where you come from, not to because we want you to give things away, but to appreciate what you have. That's and part of that comes back to if you're playing this to try and get esports money or exposure, get on out. You're here for the wrong reason. Yeah.
100% right. Well, I think we're gonna kind of call it now. I mean, we've been talking for a good little bit, but I do want to try to do this at least somewhat regularly.
Yeah, fun.
We can link up, and then maybe get some other people in it too, and that'd be cool. But I really appreciate you coming on, and
I appreciate you having me, man. Thanks for listening to us.
And I appreciate everybody, watching the stream, and just look out for us later on, I'm gonna once again stay in the community and keep trying to get more views for Tekken, because I mean that's all I really care about at this point. And yeah, we'll try to do like some character breakdowns, maybe like review some matches and things of that nature. And
Two broke dudes. I mean, sorry, two broke TOs.
two broke TOs. I like it.
I think I know I'm going to be
But
doing
yeah.
a Gigas breakdown with Shang at some point. I got to look and check my schedule on that. I wonder if that's tonight. Better look.
Well, yeah, just let me know and I'll tweet
All
it out,
right,
man.
brother. I appreciate you.
All right, man. I
Thanks, everyone
appreciate it.
else. Y'all take care.
All right, guys.
Take care, man.